Hey, what's up everybody, how you doing? This is Gio. I'm going to be coming at you today with a deck profile for Murlocs. If you are interested in the WoW TCG, or maybe you're interested in getting into it, fun little nitbit, fun way to get to it is just go straight to your Target or your Walmart and pick up one of these champion decks. I started with this one, the mage one, and it's just a really fun game. If you're used to Magic, you're going to be really used to this game as well. So today we're going to be covering the Murlocs, like I said. They're a monster ally deck, and I really like it because it has a lot of synergy, and it's a pretty fun deck to play. Either way, let's just get right into it. This is my hero. His name is Rogelberger. I don't know if you guys can see that, but it's a pretty funny name. He does nothing really special. What he does is you can pay 8 to flip him. And if you have 5 or more Murloc allies, you can just go ahead and flip him without having to pay anything. And essentially what he does is he pumps up everybody by +1/+1. So he makes those little really low costing Murlocs really hit hard late game. So I mean, we start with that. I'm going to go ahead and start with the quests and move on forward. So the first quest is Blue Leaf Tubers. This is essentially where you just cycle your graveyard back into your deck. So after you played some really good spells, or maybe they killed off a good of your monster, you can just activate this and get everything right back. Run 3 copies of Seed of the Demise. What this card does is you delve. If you guys are used to magic terms, if you want to use magic terms from now on, it's scry. So you pay 0 to complete this quest, and you get to scry for 2. Let's start off with what normally we would call the spells. These are called abilities. So this one's called it's called I don't know if you guys could see that, but essentially you pay 1 mana, and what it does is it gives all your monsters +1 attack and haste. And we'll take them and run 3 copies of that card. Next card, in my opinion, I think this is the most broken card in the whole deck, and it's called Monstrous Upheal. The reason why I think it's the most broken card is because this card makes your hero deal 2 damage to another hero or a monster for every single monster, hero, and ally you control. So once you start swarming the field and you have a shitload of monsters, well, excuse my language, once you have a lot of monsters, you're going to be hitting a lot with these. This is going to combo off of your crabs, it's going to combo off of your monsters, and it's also going to combo off your hero as well because he's a monster ally. The next card, I think arguably this is the most broken card, if not the second most broken, up with Monstrous Upheal, and it's called Unleash the Swarm. Pretty much what this card does is you look at the top 7 cards of your deck, and you get to reveal all the Murloc cards that are 1 or less, and you get to play them for free. So your baby Murlocs, your Murloc Coast Runners, your Gut Fins, all of that, they just get special summoned for free, and you get to trigger all of the Murlocs' effect once they're on the field. It's really fun, and it's really broken. So let's start off with their 0 drops, one of the only 0 drops in the game, Baby Murloc. So you pay no mana, so pretty much once you get him in your hand, you can just drop him for free. You don't have to pay anything for him, but he's really good just because first, easy swarm on your very first turn. I normally don't play him on my first turn because I want something else on the field so that I can trigger everybody else's effect. This guy's really fun to draw into, especially if you want to activate everybody else's effect and trigger. And if anything, at the end of the video, I'll go ahead and show you a nice combo you can do with this card. Next card is Guffin, and we run 4 copies of Guffin. What Guffin does is obviously you pay the 1 mana to summon him, and he just adds 1 health. So he makes all your Murlocs, for example this guy, he makes himself 1/2. Makes it a lot harder to kill. Next card is called Sleepy Fist, or Sleepy Fist. Pretty much is a 1-drop, and what he does is he makes all your other monster allies untargetable, so you can't really attack them. It's good because then you can force him to attack your hero, your boss monster, and since he's forced, then you can just block and you can just kill off their strongest things. It's pretty good. Now, I think the most broken card in the game, we're quite a lot of him. Normally the maximum in this game is 4 monsters, but since he is unlimited, you can run as many copies of him as you want. It's a 1 mana and he's a 2/1, so he's really good. I run 16 copies of him, and the reason why he's really good is because he gets to trigger all of your effects. Pretty much, if you swarm into this and you have a buttload of these in play along with all your other monsters, these guys, they pump themselves up really quick, really fast. Like essentially these guys can become 5/3s, so you can just be swinging for a lot. These guys, like I said, they also trigger a lot of effects, because I'll show you a way you can, abuse this guy later at the end of the video. Next, one of my favorite cards, Krabby Fin. You pay 2 to summon him, and what it does is whenever he enters play or another ally, another Murloc ally enters play, you pretty much get one of these guys. You get a free crab token. Now these guys are 1/1, and they also feed off of your monstrous upheal, so they deal an extra 2 damage just for being on the field once you play that spell. It's a really good card. And like I said, this guy's effect triggers every single time you summon him or another ally. So every time you summon one of these guys, you get, essentially 2 monsters. So just for summoning him for paying 1 mana, you get a crab, and you get him out on the field. Next card is a Swarm Tooth. What I really like about this card is that this right here is your draw engine. He himself is a draw engine. Reason being is because you pay 2, you summon him, right? Whenever you summon him or another Murloc, you get to look at the top card of your deck. If it's a Murloc, you add it to your hand. So essentially, pretend you have this guy on the field and you have this guy at the same time, right? You go ahead and you draw into one of these guys, right? You pay 1, you summon, you get your crab token because of Krabby, and then you get to look at the top card of your deck. If it's a Murloc, you get to add it into your hand. Let's say you get another one of this. For another mana, you can do it again. You get another crab token. You get to look at your next card in your hand, and you get to essentially add more and more and more and more and more. And it just becomes really ridiculous at the end of the game when you have a lot of mana. He's really fun. He really helps you swarm out the field. Next card is Chumley. Sounds like Chung-Li. Any reference if you guys play Monster, if you guys play Street Fighter. Chumley, he's essentially your only 3-drop, and what he does is he makes all your monsters +1/+1. He makes them stronger. It's really good, especially if you have your monster hero already at +1/+1. He essentially makes those little 2/1s. He makes them 4 3s. Pretty good, especially with the swarming capability that this deck has. Next, you run 3 Bobblers. This guy, I mean, he's alright. He's a 4-drop, so I mean, I guess for Assault 2, he hits pretty weak, but he can pump up your shit pretty high. Like this guy becomes a 3/4 when he swings, and he gets to pump up all your other ones. So, those 1/1s or the 2/1s that you drop for 1 mana, they essentially boost and boost and boost. Now the last guy that we play in this deck, we play 2 copies of King Burgle Terror of the Tides. This guy is your only 5-drop. He's the most expensive card in your deck, or at least in my deck, and he's great because he gives +2/+2 to all of your Murloc allies, +2/+2 even to himself. So he's essentially a 5/5. He pumps himself along with everybody else, which is really good because those little 1/1s, they're not 3/3s, and if you have Chum-Li, they're 6/6s, and if you have the Bobbler dude, if you have the Assault, they become 7 whenever they swing. And if you have a field full of 7s just swinging, GG. Also, whenever you start your turn, you get a Murloc ally token, which is insane in this deck, because if you have, like I said earlier, and I'm sorry I'm repeating myself, but if you get if you get Swarm Tooth and you get a Krabby Fin in play, at the start of your turn, before you even draw, you get to activate their effects. So you get to get it under the crab, special summon the crab, then you get to look into the top of your deck. If it's a Murloc, add it into your hand, and then you start your turn, which is insane. It's a very good way to swarm the field. Now I did say I would show you some combos that you can do with this deck. So let's say you have Swarmtooth out in play and Krabby Fin, right? And then you just have a whole bunch of these guys. So I'll go ahead and separate some of these and the baby Murlocs. You play this. You get to look at top 7 cards of your deck, and any single one that's one or less, you get to special summon them, right? So you get special summon. Now you get to look at the top card. Now you get to special summon a crab, and now you get to look at the top card. If it's a Murloc, you get to add it into your hand. So then this second one comes in for free. You get a second crab because it's every single time they enter the battlefield. And you get to look at the next card in your deck, so on and so forth. And it just gets really ridiculous, and you get all these monsters just for paying 4. Well, that's if you're lucky. But if you have the Murloc Ghost Runners, you get all these monsters just for essentially playing him. And then right before you end your turn, or after you swing or whatever, you can finish him off with this. Like I said, it deals 2 damage for every monster ally token, including your hero. So your hero, that's already 2 with this guy. And then your tokens, they keep adding 2, which makes the deck incredible. Now this deck is really for new beginning players. It's why it's the first deck profile that I'm making on my channel. So if you guys are interested on the deck list, if I get enough comments and likes, I'll go ahead and leave the deck list in the description. And like I said, this deck is mainly for people beginning to learn how to play this game, or if they are interested. I'll be posting up some rulings, and if you guys have any questions about any of the cards, I also play Magic and Yu-Gi-Oh! So, like I said, if you guys have any questions about either one of the games, please let me know. I'll be more than happy to help you guys out. Alright, this is Gio signing off.